I used to think that the reason why I hadn't started certain things was because I didn't have the right people around me. But unfortunately, I found out that that is just not true. I've been waiting 12 years now and nothing I've started has really stood the test of time. But I think I've finally realized what the only sure way to start something is.
Morning. It's about 6:30 a.m. on a Friday. It's a public holiday today. I think it's Freedom Day. Anyway, I'm about to hike Kloof Corner on Table Mountain. The weather's not going to be so great today. Pretty meh. But you know, I want to keep up the consistency of hitting the mountain at least once a week. Hopefully, taking you with me. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Also, I'm putting my hand here because this headlight is kind of broken. I should have taped it up. Luckily it's pointing down, so I won't have a problem there. Okay, let's go. You don't even need that anymore. Also, it's Workers' Day today, not Freedom Day. Freedom Day was a few days ago. Lots of public holidays in April. I love my country, I really do. Please don't ask me what Workers' Day is all about. I've got no idea. Pretty embarrassing, actually. Oh wow, check this out. The sun is just teasing at this point. Absolutely teasing. It's like that bat signal in Batman. Hey, just a disclaimer about this channel. I'm not here to teach from above or give advice from any place of authority. I'm just trying to share truths that I'm discovering as I walk through life and my journey. Just thought I'd make that clear. I ain't no expert, bro. Okay, we are basically here. And I'm gonna scramble up to a little spot and have a coffee. The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, he said that all truly great ideas are conceived whilst walking. He was a big believer in being out in nature. He would spend 5-6 hours a day sometimes just walking outside or in the mountains. And whilst I don't agree with a lot of his thoughts or beliefs, I do agree that being outside in nature is so good for the mind. And so I'm just trying to get out more often. Whoa! This just doesn't do it justice. Look at that. That's what you call glory. My gosh. I made it.
I think this whole thing of waiting for the right people to start things, for me, started about 13 years ago now, and it started at film school. What I loved about making movies at film school was that you had a crew, and every person on that crew had a particular role, and they carried out that role. And the only way for something to be successful was for everyone to do their role really well and then to collaborate and come together and make something beautiful. And so I got used to that and I enjoyed that. But then when I left film school and I tried to start anything, whether it was making a film or any other project, I would then have that same mentality of wanting people in various positions to do something. And that is the way great companies and great films are made, is by having people be really good in the position that they're in. But when I left film school, I struggled to get people to buy into my ideas, and maybe that was because some of my ideas were bad, but also, people just have their own lives, and once we were in the sort of the working world, and then you want to do like these passion projects or whatever, it's very difficult to bring people along. And then I started getting in the habit of not wanting to start anything. Yeah, and that really stunted me in many ways. And now, over a decade later, I started to realize that I wasn't actually waiting for the right people, but that I was using that as a reason not to start. And in processing all of this, I've come to realize that there's a lot of reasons that we do this. And I think one of the biggest reasons is a fear of failure, because we think that having the right people will mitigate the risk of something not being successful. And so we can't see ourselves tackling a project or starting something without having people, because we just can't bear the thought of that thing not being successful. We can't bear the thought of it failing. Another reason why we do this, to add to that point, is the factor of shared responsibility. If that project fails, then it's not just one person that takes the brunt of that failure. It's among many people, and so we tend to not want to take all that responsibility and put it on our shoulders. We also do it so that thing that we want to start has accelerated growth. I used to be very guilty of this, is that we don't see the bigger picture, and that something might take long or should take long, but we want the accelerated growth. We want the success quickly. We want something to reach fruition quickly. And so we think that bringing other people on board and having people around us will accelerate that growth, whereas we should maybe rather have patience for those things to reach fruition. And then there's the factor of, a cultural fit. We wait for people with a similar culture, a similar way of thinking, a similar worldview, similar beliefs. We want like the perfect team in that sense too. You can wait forever to find that kind of fit, And I think the reason why we want a good cultural or beliefs fit is because we want to reduce friction, because we think that if someone has a similar worldview to us and similar beliefs, then there'll be friction reduced. And so there's a bit of fear involved there too. I mean, I've definitely done this. I've definitely backed out of things when I saw that there wasn't a good cultural fit. And one always wonders, like, what could have been if you had just learned to work through differences of culture, differences of opinion. It's all in hindsight, but it's something I do think about. And then lastly, and this is definitely, I'm gonna put my hand up, like, perfectionism. I think we do it because we want the end result to be perfect. We can't bear the thought of starting something that doesn't end up exactly how we envision it. And so perfectionism kills, man. Like, it can kill it. It can kill a dream. It can kill a project or a goal very quickly. Nothing will ever be perfect, and that's almost something that we need to like lean into. And I think all of these feelings for us in the moment, at least for me, it feels valid, because when you think of that thing that you wanted to start, you look at it from a place of caring. You care about that thing, and you view it as like too important to stuff up. And so your reasons for not starting something, because you don't have the right people around you, like, it feels fair, it feels valid. And then that sort of clouds your judgment and makes you idle. And sitting idle is never good for anyone. We got to keep moving. Yeah, I think the real shift for me was when I realized what this lack of action was protecting me from, and it was protecting me from finding out if I was good enough. And that was a real heart blow for me, because I realized that the lack of people was never the problem, but that my self-belief was. And so yeah, this was not going to be me saying, don't rely on people will disappoint you, because although that may be true in some circumstances, at the end of my life I'll only really have myself to blame for not achieving certain things. And so now, in hindsight, when I wanted to start something in the past, I wish that I had become the team before the team. I think all the great entrepreneurs and filmmakers, and they learned all the facets of the thing that they were doing, not to like an expert level, but enough to understand and enough to initially grow their thing and get it moving. And then once they then started making things, people could then see what it is they were doing, and they could more easily buy into it, and then they would like sort of join, and it would be easier to bring people on board. But I realized that I have to be comfortable with starting alone and learning enough so that I can start alone. If I really believed in my ambitions and my goals, then I would welcome the failures that starting alone might bring, because then inevitably I'm just going to learn about all the ways not to do something. It's like Edison with a light bulb. Like, imagine he had said, no, I don't want to take on this project because I need a bigger team to help me invent this light bulb. And please fact check me on this, I'm not sure, maybe he did have a team, but the point I'm trying to make is that if our goals and ambitions did mean a lot to us and we believed in it, then we would welcome the failures and we would press through those failures. Oh man. So yeah, I don't think I'm waiting for the right people anymore. I think I'm just trying to start, even if it's on my own. Because once something is moving, then people can find their way into it. But if nothing is started, then I guess there's nothing to find. And inevitably, the world may lose something that could have been of great value. And that would be a shame, wouldn't it? Anyway, it's actually starting to drizzle a little bit, so I'm gonna head down. But thanks for watching. Remember that you have one life, so live today, start something today, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Come take me away, my head above the water. Finally I can breathe again.